Buenos dias. Don't be rude. Say it back. Welcome back to the Beast Den. I'm so excited about today's topic. We're going to be talking, is everything really content? This is such a spicy topic as of late. It's been all over threads, and I am super excited to jump into this because this is something that I actually teach my coaching students is everything content? So really quickly before we jump in here, my name is Sloan. I go by Sloan the Beast. I am a chaos coach that supports ambitious women that are in the circus act of running successful businesses and raising babies and raising a family. I help you create work-life balance in a way that makes sense for you. So if that is your jam, welcome. I hope you'll stick around. I am currently in a challenge where I'm doing weekly lives every single Wednesday for the next couple of weeks. I think it's going to be about a month long. It's just so that we can switch it up on the channel, really bring you as much value and really bring you inside of these conversations through these lives. So definitely be sure to pop in the chat if you have any questions, if something resonates with you, or if you have an opinion about anything and you want to dig a little deeper. Don't be afraid to join me there. If you hear my dogs, it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. So today we're going to be talking about, again, is everything really content? My goal here is to dispel this belief that content creation can be difficult, that it is overwhelming, that you have to film everything. I want to make this easy for you, especially as busy moms where we have very limited time and energy. I really want to make sure that you are able to create content in a way that feels effortless because it gets to be that easy. So the first thing I want to talk about is documentation over production. Okay, now I preach this a lot with my students. You do not need to produce content. And what do I mean by that? When I say producing content, I mean setting up a tripod, setting up lighting, creating an ambiance, really thinking about, okay, I need to batch all of this content today and it needs to be highly produced. Okay, I need to have the right microphone and I need to have all the right settings, right? All the things. That process within itself can seem very overwhelming and very extensive versus setting up a tripod, setting up your phone, hitting time lapse, and utilizing that same quote unquote B-roll as your content, as that connecting piece, or doing a FaceTime type of video. We see those a lot in stories where you literally just pop out your phone, pull up the stories app or the Instagram app, pull up your stories and record yourself talking like you're talking to a girlfriend. Totally casual, right? And I feel like they connect better. But most importantly, as a busy mom, this really optimizes on your time because oftentimes we're just recording what we're doing in our daily life anyways. Now, what I'm saying to you is everything content? No. And yes, because everything can be content. The trick here is, should everything be content? And that's really what's going to take us into the next couple of pieces here, okay? Because here's what happens when you don't create sustainable systems for content creation, okay? When you are in this headspace of everything is content, I need to record everything that I'm doing every single day, and then I need to piece those together into a story, right? My life needs to be a reality show, and I need to have my phone out at all times. What happens is you end up burning out. What happens is you end up feeling like I said, like you made your life a reality show. And now instead of you showing up authentically and how you really are, now because you've made your life a reality show, you start switching up maybe the aesthetics of your house, right? Your home decor. You start switching up the way that you show up, the way that you speak, the way that you speak to your children. Everything becomes a show. Instead of it just being you authentically and genuinely showing up online as who you are. The last result of you not creating sustainable systems in your content creation processes is you begin to resent filming and creating the content in the first place. You begin to get into this mindset of, I hate content creation. It's overwhelming for me. causes me to burn out. It's exhausting. I hate it. I don't want to do it. And if you are an entrepreneur in 2024, which is probably why you're here, or a content creator in 2024, or in the digital space at any capacity, you know that content creation is just a natural part of your business. And content creation has been around forever. It's literally just marketing. And when we're talking about content creation, we're not even just talking about mediums like reels or short form video, long form videos, or photos. We're talking about blog posts as well. We're talking about that written communication. That is all content. Everything is content. It does not mean that everything should be content. And this is what's going to take us into the next piece, which is establishing boundaries and determining your privacy settings, if you will. Okay. Now, you need to ask yourself, what are your non-negotiables? What are the things that are absolutely off the table for you? For some people, this can be maybe showcasing your relationships, right? Maybe your relationship with your spouse. Maybe you don't want your relationship to be online. Maybe it's your children. Maybe you're not comfortable with showing your children online. Really identify what are your non-negotiables. Be mindful of other people that are in your space that maybe don't want to be on camera. Be mindful and ask them, hey, I'm recording today. Are you cool with that? If they're not, make other arrangements. Or blur them out, crop them out, whatever the case is. But be sure to at least have the courtesy of asking other people that are going to be in your content, hey, do you even want to be in it? Okay, be mindful of the areas in your home that you want to maintain private. So whether that's your children's rooms, maybe it's your mud room, your garage, right? Maybe you have a fancy car and you don't want to show anybody what it is you have in there. Totally fine. Establish those boundaries really early on so that you know, okay, I'm never going to be recording in here. Or if I'm collaborating with somebody else and maybe they're coming over or whatever the case is, or I'm going to them and I have my children and I don't want my children to be on social media. These are things that you need to know. These are things that you're going to need to communicate, okay? Be mindful when you're in other people's houses. Again, just make sure that they're okay with you recording in their house. You don't know what you don't know, and again, you just want to be very mindful of, all right, this is not something that I'm comfortable with. You know, maybe they're not in the online space, or maybe they're just not comfortable with you recording their things. Just ask them. Just ask them, hey, is it okay if I record in your house? Or sometimes for me, if I even feel like I need to ask, I just won't do it because that's also common sense. I am a content creator. So if I'm at my mom's house, my mom knows I'm going to be creating content. My little sister, however, is not on social media. So I don't photograph her. I don't have her in my videos. I'm mindful not to record in her room, right? I am using that awareness of other people to dictate whether or not I'm going to be there with my camera recording, okay? Now, one huge piece that really kept coming up on Threads was this balancing act between creating the content that you need to grow on social media, to grow your following, to nurture your community, versus maintaining present in your everyday life. And as somebody that records a lot of content, I have an entire YouTube video about how I create over 30 pieces of content a week, create a lot of content. I get it. The balancing act is so real. So let me give you a couple of hacks that you can use so that you can make sure that you are still highly, highly present in your everyday life with your family, with your team, with yourself, right? And still get the information that you need to get. The first thing is when it comes to filming, only film the action, all right? What do I mean by that? If you're filming a get ready with me makeup routine, okay? Then you're not going to film the entire routine. You're not going to film yourself, you know, if I'm doing this chapstick, pulling up the chapstick and then, you know, making sure that I'm going to record only when I'm about to apply the chapstick and then I can hit stop. You don't have to record the entire thing. You don't have to record yourself singing and dancing. Just get to the action. Not only is this going to help you when it comes to becoming faster at filming, it's going to help you be more present, but it's also going to cut down your editing time significantly. So if you're cooking, maybe you're not going to record your entire prep work. Maybe you're only going to record when you're moving the rice, when you're moving the chicken, when you're serving the plate, right? Just get to the action. Cut the fluff is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? And then my next tip is to day block. So I teach the day blocking method. I just feel like it's a lot easier to keep up with than a time blocking method. I need to leave room in my schedule for flexibility and the what ifs and the constant pivots that I'm having to make in my life. And so the day blocking method really gives me that flexibility to do that. So my recommendation is to schedule 1 day a week where you are filming this authentic and genuine content. 1 day a week. So maybe it's your coaching days. Maybe you're just recording yourself during your coachings. Maybe you've got 2 back-to-back coachings and you decide I'm going to record 3 to 5 minutes of this coaching and this is the B-roll content that I'm going to be using. Or maybe I'm going to use those little snippets of the information that I'm sharing, the consultation that I'm having, and I'm going to repurpose that into a mini reel, right? You don't have to make this complicated. You're already showing up to the call anyways. You might as well utilize that as additional content and value that you can be bringing your community online that's not currently working with you, okay? So be sure to block out a dedicated time to create this content. You don't have to walk around with a tripod with you at all times if you do not want to, all right? My last tip for you is going to be intentional about your content creation. Super important here because I think that this is the number one reason why so many mom content creators and mom entrepreneurs become overwhelmed. Because like I said, you want to record everything. You feel like, well, if everything is content, I need to record it all. I need to record the breakfast. I need to record what I made for lunch. I need to record myself reading my kids a bedtime story. I need to record it all. No, you don't. What you need to do is become intentional about the content that you are creating. And how do you do that? Well, do you have a marketing plan? Or are you just showing up and saying, well, I think this sounds good, or this is trending, and I'm going to do this, right? You have to be intentional. Hi, good morning. We're not going to watch a movie right now. I need you to brush your teeth and wash your face. You need to become intentional about the content that you're going to create, and the way to do that is to have a strategy in place so that you know. I'm so sorry to hear that. We could talk about it in a second. He had a nightmare. So when you have a strategy in place, then you know, okay, how much B-roll do I need? How many talking head videos do I need? Do I need maybe a day in the life vlog that's going to work better with this content piece that I need to get out, or this value piece that I need to get out? Script your videos. So, bless you. The way you're going to script those videos is going to be based off of the strategy that you have in place. Now, Sloan, where do I house that? I know that was one of the questions in my last YouTube live, and I house all of my social media content in ClickUp. I do have a social media planner that was built out. So for me, that's what I use. That's the easiest thing for me. But definitely be sure that you have some sort of system in place, some place that you are housing all of your ideas. And if you're not already creating some sort of strategy or plan, then you are planning to fail, then you are planning to become burnt out, because you are not going to be creative all of the time. You are going to have creator's block. It's going to happen. So you want to have some sort of bank to pull from. And I find that when I'm in those spaces, I can always pull from my social media planner, and that usually gets the juices running again. When we're talking about scripting your videos, this does not have to be complicated. It is literally just a couple of bullet points. Not only does this keep you on track, but it also ensures that you are on track with what the value is, right? We're not showing up on social media just to say, hey, I'm here, I'm cute. You need to make sure that you're showing up with big intention. Are you there to inspire someone? Are you there to encourage someone or motivate them? Are you there to educate them? Are you there to trigger them, right? And change their perspective about something. Be clear on what the value point is in all of your content. And by scripting your content or creating those very easy bullet points for you to follow, you're going to make sure that you're staying on track and on task, okay? This also ensures that you have a purpose behind every piece of content. And again, you're not recording just because you want to be the next Kardashian, but you're recording because this content piece has purpose. I'll give you the example of when I went to Las Vegas. So last week, if you were on my live, you saw I was in Las Vegas for a couple of days because I was securing vendors and locations for my upcoming December retreat, highly curated for mom entrepreneurs so that you can learn to harness your chaos in your daily life so that you can learn how to stop putting yourself on the back burner and start prioritizing your well-being so that you can be the best mom, the best wife, the best entrepreneur, the best ambitious woman that you can be, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. So during this trip, I had a journal that I carried with me, and I very specifically knew what's the content that I needed to get. Was it me crossing the walkway? Yes. Then I told my husband, hey, I need you to record me crossing the walkway. I need you to record me recording. I need you to get this. I need you to get that. I knew exactly what I was there for versus just recording everything, right? Like a tourist, recording everything and then hoping that I could piece it all together. I went in there with intentionality because I knew exactly what I had to do. I came with my tripod. I came with my lighting. I came with my microphone, right? Now I'm highly prepared because, again, there's intentionality and there's purpose and there's strategy behind what I'm doing. Did we still have a great time? Were we super present? Absolutely. We set aside a day just for us so that we could do the things that we wanted to do. And because I was, yes, babe? You had a what? You had an e-teamware? Okay, we'll talk about it in a second, okay? I made you bacon. Bless you. So because I was so highly intentional, it also allowed us to get the work done at the forefront of our day, leaving the rest of the time in those locations, in those spaces, while we were on this trip, to be able to do the things that we wanted to do. I didn't have to be with a camera the entire time because now, since I got the content at the beginning of this trip, I can enjoy the rest of it. Bless you. Also understanding that content creation is a job. This is a total mindset shift, okay? Content creation, when you are doing this for your business, when you are doing this as a source of your livelihood, you have to understand that this is a legitimate job. So when you are recording, whether it's B-roll, whether it's talking head, whether you're documenting where you choose to produce your content, you are on the clock. And so you want to treat it as such. Treat it with the same respect that you would treat maybe your coach, your coaching clients. Treat it with the same respect that you would treat your 9-to-5 clients. Bless you. Shift your mindset so that you can approach this with the strategy and the attention that it's required, so that also you're not overly burnt out, so that you're not overwhelmed with all of the little pieces that go into this. So just to do a quick recap here, okay? Is everything really content? Yes, it does not mean that everything has to be content. So while everything can be content, everything does not have to be content. We determine what is or isn't content based off of the boundaries that we establish at the beginning, right, of this journey, or which can start for you today. Maybe you've been a content creator for a long time. Start today. Decide what are your non-negotiables when it comes to content creation. What are those boundaries? What are those hard lines in the sand, okay? If we do not create sustainable systems for content creation, what ends up happening is you end up burning out. You end up feeling like you need to make a reality show out of your life. You end up resenting filming and content creation as a whole, okay? And if you want to stay present in your daily life while still maintaining this awesome opportunity of being a content creator, right? We want to make sure that we are filming just the action, getting those quick snippets that we need so that we can cut down our editing time, so that we can cut down the amount of footage that we're recording, and again, just maintaining present in our everyday life. Second thing is you want to day block your filming day so that you're not filming every single day, but so that you have that intentionality behind the set schedule that you place for this task within your job. Lastly, you want to be intentional about the content you're creating. Be sure that you understand what the strategy behind your content creation is. Be sure that you have scripted the content that you need to create, and be sure that you have some sort of task manager where you're housing your social media planner or brain dump ideas or whatever the case is, okay? Now, I do have unstuck sessions that are opening for the month of September. Excuse me, baby. Yeah? I'm almost done. If you want, go brush your teeth. Probably by the time that you brush your teeth, I'll be finished, okay? Okay. Unstuck sessions, what they are 60-minute coaching sessions. It is a little bit intense because we do go through one goal that you have been procrastinating or struggling with. We create a 30-day roadmap so that you can achieve that goal within 30 days with high strategy, high discipline, high accountability, okay? We'll leave the link down below so that you can schedule your Unstuck session if you want additional support when it comes to content creation or branding. Maybe you're struggling with your work-life balance and that's really what you want to hone in on. I cannot stress enough the importance of having a good home life. When you are thriving at home, your business is going to thrive as well, but it does not work vice versa. Your business thriving and your house deteriorating, what's going to happen is your business will eventually deteriorate because that's going to filter in. So regardless of where you're at, we can work together. I do have Unstuck sessions again for the month of September. Spots are limited because I am going to be doing a lot of travel. So be sure to secure your spot today. Again, I'll leave the link down below and I will see you next Wednesday for our IG Live. I got to have a name for this series. If you guys have any ideas, put them in the chat on the replay. Thank you so much for being here and I will see you next week. Sweet nightmares, Beast Fam.